I think we're live. I think we're live. Hi. Look who I have here. This most beautiful Dr. Sandra Michael. Yeah, are we live? I just want to double check.
It's not working.
Yes, we're live. Hello, hello, hello. Dr. Sandra Michael, who is the creator of, now it looks like the camera moved a little. I want you to see what's behind me. We have 24 units. This is hysterical. I have to show you how ridiculous this is, you guys. This is so funny. We have like 8 layers of pillows here. I mean, you know, I have to tell you what we're doing to adapt. It's like very Dr. Seussian. But this is all about joy. There's nothing serious going on here. You know, we're here.
Well, look at this pillow. This is what it's all about.
Because we're at Loving Light Regeneration.
Yeah, it's just love.
That's it. That's just love. And we're, you know, really, isn't that the thing? This is the second episode, by the way, of the series about the relationship between the energy enhancement system, which of course Dr. Sandra Michael is the genius creator, and we have 24 units here, and emotion, which is of course energy and motion. And that's been my gig, my work for decades. And let's start there, because you know, my darling husband, who I'm sure is watching, Danny, who co-owns the center with me and also with Gabrielle, you know, he did something so remarkable the other night at dinner. We were having dinner, and completely unsolicited, Danny spoke up. And, you know, this is very interesting. First of all, he's a male, because he's a he, because he's Danny. Secondly, he happens to be a Middle Eastern man, right? And, you know, raised in a pretty daunting society, a war zone, yada, yada, yada. And we all come with baggage. Nobody is, you know, none of us are scot-free. And so there he was. It actually moved me. He said in front of Sandra, and we had other, you know, guests there, that he talked about how he used to have so much road rage while he was driving in the car. And this is totally true, believe me. We've been married for 19 years. 19 years. We just celebrated.
It's not like you're not gonna. Everybody has their stuff.
Everybody has their stuff, and together for 21. So it was so bad, and Sandra knows this now because Danny admitted it. He said, "What did he say?" He said it used to be so bad that he would
stop the car and get out.
He would get out of the car. And
again, that's probably programmed from, you know, what he grew up with, what he saw, what he experienced, that whole set of things he came here with.
100%. And that's for all of us, right? And that's really the genesis of this particular discussion, and, you know, what inspired wanting to talk about. And by the way, I have to tell you though, the happy ending is Danny doesn't have road rage anymore at all, because I would not drive with him. I actually read him the riot act and said, you know what, honey, I'm not going to drive in the car. I will take, you know, I'll Uber or whatever, because for the other person that's in the car, it feels caca-poo-poo, right? And secondly, you know, you can get shot if you piss somebody off enough. People do carry weapons. Blood pressure through the roof, and, you know, right? So none of it is healthy, this living in the negative programming. So,
but also the anger, and I've had this conversation with so many people, actually. People need to know this, that anger is the most destructive emotion in the body.
Absolutely.
So that's what dis-ease is created out of it. And the thing is, you've done it to yourself.
You've done it to yourself.
Nobody's done it to you. And once you get conscious, you'll no longer, you know, if you love yourself, you're just plain not ever going to do that emotion to yourself again. It's like, why bother to be bothered? You can be in peace. You can be in love. You can be in joy. You know.
There's so many options, and the thing is easier said than done. And that's where reprogramming ourselves so that we have more emotional and spiritual consciousness and be the love that we are is where it's, you know, so necessary. So here's what happened. So Danny started doing something that I did not create this. This is thousands of years old. I just reincorporated it. Humming, breathwork, and love consciousness, which I call frumming. Duh, my name's Franny. You gotta coin something, right? And it came to me because our clients, our guests here at Loving Light Regeneration, often they come and they feel obviously fabulous in this environment that Dr. Sandra Michaels created, but then they leave and they get triggered in the car. Somebody cut me off or something happened, and and I've had the worst week, and they come in and their whole system is down because, again, they did it to themselves. We don't do it willingly. So what I did is I asked in meditation for the easiest on-the-go modality that I could offer myself, Danny, of course, and clients and any beloveds. And what came through is I started to hum. I just started to hum. I'm like, why am I humming? Well, then I did some research.
Great science research on changing the neurology. It goes back to the throat singing of the Tibetans. It goes back to the chanting, in the Vedic traditions, and singing lullabies. I mean, self-soothing with lullabies.
Self-soothing, and that's the thing,
is it changes the neurology
massively changes your neural pathways. It's the fastest way to make sure your cardiovascular system is calm. It's anti-parasitic, it's antimicrobial, it goes on, and microbial, but you know what I mean? It goes on and on and on. It is, but
it helps maintain or develop new brain cells.
Yeah, well, look at us. And it's also great for your hair. Oh, wow.
Well, the technology is absolutely fabulous for hair, for sure. But this is all about, this gives people the energy to create change.
Yes.
To make healthier. Empowerment means making healthier, more intelligent, more informed
conscious
choices.
Yes.
So you can, you could do the old emotions, but why would you do those? If you know what those do to the body, you'd never do those. That caca-poo-poo to yourself.
The caca-poo-poo.
And instead it's
Sandra's
about
got to
having
punctuate
tools.
You got to get the there you go.
Tools. You need better tools to choose again.
So that's a great, so why don't people do that? So here's my belief. Most of us, and myself, I've definitely been guilty of it, want to be right. Because we come from a lot of lack. Our well-intentioned, mostly, not always, parental figures, right, can only have so much love to give. Or there's a shortage of love. They're busy, maybe. Or, there's not enough money. So you grow up with this lack. And so what do you want to do? You want to control. I'm right. I know. I'm fine. I'm coming to the EE system. And even though I leave and then, have a screaming argument with my, neighbor and steal their cookies, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? And so that old negative ego stuff blocks us. And it's so silly. So there's Danny. I just want to laud him and say, what a great guy. Because what he did is he started doing this. Breathing and humming. It takes all of 2 seconds. And it's so simple. And we have so many clients here doing it now, like overnights and you name it. Danny and I
teaching it more and more and sharing it. It's such a great modality and tool to use with the technology to help people make those
in tandem.
To do those interventions for themselves, to choose again and go, wait a minute.
Absolutely. And you listen, yoga, genius. Breathwork, genius. All these things great, but what do you do in a pickle in the moment you get that phone call or the text? That is when you want to self-regulate. You want to self-soothe at that moment. It's always just what Sandra did. Breath and let's hum. And you know what a really easy way to, by the way, the Om, I did some research on this, is only an Om because it's easier to hum. Because sometimes just going is hard for people, but if you open your mouth and you Om,
it gets people into that oneness state very quickly.
Into the frequency. Danny does that 3 times every time he's triggered in the car, and whether he's with me driving or not, he's completely calm. It's like being with a new guy. What happened to my Sephardic Israeli husband? Where'd he go? So it is so fast, but it takes reps. Just like going to the gym, it takes practice. And that's the thing. It is really easy. And if we get out of our own way and think, humming, Franny, lay off the bleach a little bit, girlfriend. But there's so much research, and Sandra knows.
Actually really good scientific research on that.
Oh.
And again, a modality that now you can make healthier, more intelligent, more informed, more loving choices for your own self. Because if you love yourself, you're just not going to do the caca-poo-poo back to yourself again. Because what is behind any and all dis-ease is, it all started from that blockage of the breath. The only way anything ever got stuck in the body, it's the issues in the tissues, but the only way
issues in the tissues.
The only way anything ever got stuck was from the stoppage of breath. Don't want to be here, don't want to deal with, don't want to feel, God's screwed up, something's wrong.
Right.
And that tension, that repeated tensing is what created the circuit jams.
Yes.
Where you dam the flow, literally.
Yeah.
And the joy is in the flow. That created
I am so excited that Sandra's sharing this because it's a big deal. My prayer is that I want the whole world to be, because you see, I was stuck. I come from a family of division. I'm not going to get into all of our stories.
Oh, the blame and shame game.
Blame, shame, guilt, fear, and I was stuck. So I could have saved so much time and money, which our clients can do, by self-soothing. This information wasn't available. We didn't have the internet, in the 18th century when I was growing up. So, but it's perfect, because I wouldn't be here right now talking to this beautiful woman and you,
Well,
so
look at all the learning experience, all that created from, I came from mad scientist stuck on mad. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could hear my dad, we grew up on a farm, right? You could hear him yelling down about 2 miles down the road, I think. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
And my mother, literally, mad scientist stuck on mad. But look at how we learn through these experiences.
Always. We are here for the contrast and to expand and to allow in the love. And that's what's so exciting, especially now in the world with everything being revealed, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Things that are bringing us to our knees, and so they should. But this is the time to stay in the love zone as much as we can. So there are ways to, this is kind of like a really good Band-Aid. The breathing and humming, but it works. People say to me, Elke, if you're watching, there's, this lovely German woman who was a jockey for 22 years. She wakes up in the middle of the night with anxiety. She frowns. Before people go to, we have overnights here, 7 nights a week, by the way, just to put a little plug in. And, people, Danny and I come in and we frum with them. So what does that mean? All you do is this. Let's do it together just so they can get punched. We just showed
with
you.
That long, deep breath. You're literally breathing light. No matter where you are, you can breathe light. In here, you're literally breathing photons.
Yes.
Quantums of light to every cell.
Yes.
Because you've got to lighten up.
Yes.
It's taking things so damn serious.
We're here for the joy.
That's how we dam the flow.
That's right.
Things so damn serious.
Oh, that's so good. That's really good. That's how we dam the flow, by taking things too damn serious.
Stoppage of the breath.
That's right.
And that judgment. It says judge not in the Bible. And that's the biggie.
Oh, I love
blame and shame and the blame game and blaming others.
What's so good for that is
Ho'oponopono,
by the way. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. Look up Ho'oponopono. It's beautiful to let go of, so much of this. So there's so many different modalities that are, this isn't the only one frumming, but I will tell you, it is the fastest. And it's a Band-Aid that works in the moment. Now, I have, I lead a lot of workshops and have for a lot of years where, people who have all kinds of PTSD, because I come from inherited PTSD. My parents happen to be survivors, and my journey was out of PTSD into what I coin PTJO, post-traumatic joy overload. Thank you very much. But it took me a while. So we do long form frumming. Why? Because it's breath work, which gets into the fascia where a lot of us
start with the breath, always. Live people breathe, dead people don't. That's really biophysics 101.
So funny you did it.
But it is.
It's
Live
totally
people
true.
Dead people
It's funny
don't.
because it's true.
And you either
dead
do
people
more
don't
aliveness or you damn in the flow. But that breath is that affirmation, oh yeah, I remember who I am. And you're breathing light.
And belly breathing, as opposed to breathing up here, because you don't want to, stimulate the parasympathetic nerve, the fight or flight. So it's just, Danny calls it belly breathing, because it's easier than all the, English, right? Because English is a second language. Belly breath, right up the love, what I call the love trunk, where all the chakras are. But keep it simple in the car or the elevator. You get that phone call. All you do, don't even think about your chakra schmakra. Just belly breath and hum. 3 times, I tell you. And if you're with somebody and you're self-conscious, just tell them you have humming Tourette's, or you can't get love is in the everywhere I look around, whatever. Have a song going. It is.
You can hum songs. That's a good idea.
It's a great one. I always have Love in the Air right there on my noodle. But it is the best frequency for your whole system, you know. And so long form versions of this allow big release. We have people lying on the floor doing, you know, long form. And so what does that do? We have people breathing up the love trunk, even when they're lying down, and humming down. And it releases locked, stressed emotions.
It's vibration in the cells and through the whole nervous system.
Through the whole nervous system.
And you're literally being aligned by the light, with the light, as the light, and that humming will help shake the shit loose.
That is a scientific,
Deep
definition. Deep shift of shit. But, you know, so it could be intergenerational stuff. You don't even have to think about if you had some trauma as a kid. Or it could be stuff you're loosening up, that you've been carrying, this baggage that might be blocking you. All of these things, honestly, Sandra, I think are going to be taught in elementary school at some point.
It really needs to be.
Oh, it's just like part of cleaning out the pipes. You're cleaning out your system.
They were not taught to breathe energy into those jammed up parts of ourselves, literally.
And we're not taught that it's actually out of balance, not to feel good. We don't have to walk around feeling shame. It's so systemic in our society, you know, and many people, you know, who are hugely successful aren't successful, I've discovered, just because they want to be successful. They're running away from shame that they never, and that's why you see a lot of very happy successful people. You also see a lot of people who are never happy with success. It's not about the success, right? It's about how we feel and allowing in the love and the flow that we are. So, oh my goodness, the symbiosis of doing this emotional work together with Sandra's genius technology is up-leveling people like crazy and saving them time and money so they don't leave here and, you know, then kind of have a shit fit. Okay, you're going to have a shit fit, but then self-soothe, get back into alignment, make it as important as paying your bills, because it is. It's your life.
That breath of life is your life.
The breath of life is your life.
Yeah, and aloha, fill up with that love. You know, it's yummy.
It is yummy.
Really, that's where that term comes from, too. Yum.
Yum. Oh, so you could do an or you could do a yum. I think I'm going to do a yum from now on. That's so nice.
Oh, you know.
I love yum.
You girls want to have fun. We want to be yummy.
Yes.
So that's a great affirmation.
Yeah.
I mean, rather than experiencing something other than yum.
And when you're in yum, you're not divided. Parts of yourself aren't divided. All the parts of you are in love with the love that we are. I come from division. I don't know if you know this. I think you read my book a while ago, but my family was totally divided. And it was like the War of the Roses, sort of. My dad had I laugh now, it wasn't fun then. And my mom we 7 kids, right? 2 sides. So the whole divisiveness of society and that there's not enough for everybody doesn't mean you're naive and you give away everything. But for me to learn what love, that we are love, and to remember who I am, and to be able to put the pieces, you know, to allow the pieces to come back together, especially now when there's so much intentional division in the world. I believe more than ever, the more that we're in integrity and love with ourselves, the more that the reflection of that is just going to slip away, because, you know, as below, so above.
Whatever you focus on expands, literally. And it's how we show up. It's not even what we say, it's who we are that affects people. And we're here to share the only thing we really want to share. It's our light, our love, our wisdom, our joy, our happiness, our pleasure.
We're not here to suffer. Suffering is optional.
We have a choice. So let's make more intelligent choices.
I didn't always know that. Believe me. If any of you, I know some of you probably read my book or seen my plays or whatever, it has been a journey, but guess what? It has been for all of us. So we need to stop being so mean to ourselves.
Yeah, literally.
You know?
Beating ourselves up with craziness.
Craziness, and let ourselves breathe and hum or do whatever it is that you need to do to get in touch with the love that you are. And then when you come in here, it will be an easier process. If you're eating well, if you're putting good things on your body, you're surrounding yourself with spiritually, emotionally conscious people as much as possible. I know the world is imperfect.
But it is about radical self-love.
Yes.
Loving the part of God under your nose. Otherwise, what are you going to share with anybody? Your pain, your suffering, whatever you focus on, besides that, expands.
Exactly.
And the more, talk about ho'oponopono, but the more that you're grateful for, the more you get to be grateful for.
Yes,
the
I love that.
The more blessed you
Yeah.
are, the more blessings you get. The more blessed you feel, the more blessed you are.
We are frequency machines. We are frequency. And we're going to, you can do all the affirmations in the world that you want and all of that, stuff. But if we do not do the internal work and the focus inside and out with our emotions, we're magnetic. So we're going to we're going to attract lower frequencies, right? If we don't rise up and allow ourselves to be what it is that we want. And sometimes that means we have to let go of some stuff that no longer serves, And as Sandra says, let that
shift go.
let that shift go.
But every moment is a divine opportunity to be grateful or not.
Yes.
Every moment.
Every moment.
For the miracles of all of it. I mean, sometimes it's about, oh my God, look how funny how I used to do that.
Yes.
And see it as amusing.
Absolutely. If we can just
funny how I used to be so.
Not
funny how I used to do that double shift.
Right. And it's just a story. We believed that story at the time.
Or I was talking to somebody else. You've been there, done it, got the T-shirt. You had to do things to the